I'm a detective here. What you guys doing here?
Oh, well, you know what? I'm going to tell you what we're doing since you're being so cordial professional. What we do, we do First Amendment audits on YouTube.
Oh, cool.
How's it going, guys? Watching the Watchman here, out with Amagansett Press, here in Sedona, Arizona, at the Sedona City Hall. Doing something a little bit different today. Right now we're around the back of the building, and I'm gonna start out taking video around the back and, you know, work our way around the building like we usually do, and maybe go inside depending on what the signs on the door say, and as usual, see if they respect our First Amendment right to take video in public. So we'll see how it goes. So this building right here is city manager and mayor, and information technology and GIS is over here. Sign is behind this tree.
Anybody watching Watchmen today?
And Sedona is very cool, as I'm sure a lot of you guys know. Very cool architecture, a lot of cool geography, a lot of mountains and red rocks and stuff. And I highly recommend you guys check out my Instagram, because while we're traveling I do a lot of drone footage. I just got a drone at the beginning of this trip that we're on now, and unfortunately, due to FAA regulations, until I get my drone pilot's license, I can't post the videos on YouTube because they consider that commercial use. But Instagram is good to go, so check them out over there, and I'll get the license if you guys want to see some drone footage in these videos on YouTube. So let me know in the comments.
City manager, mayor's office entrance. Let's see, and it looks like the building is closed. So they're doing a phased reopening, and they're only open from 8 a.m. to noon, Monday through Thursday. Huh. All right, well, let's walk around and...
Oh, a little map of the complex here.
Yeah. I'm sure there are staff working on site.
Yeah.
So let's take a walk and look around the outside of the facility here and see how that goes.
Plenty of cars in the parking lot, so I'm sure somebody's around.
Yeah, there are a lot of cars here. Employee parking is on the other side of this building. Public Works. Very cool eagle statue here.
Go around the other side, get you guys a little look at these cactuses here. Yeah, I saw that. AP was just saying that the police department's here somewhere. It was very cool. All the different plants they have here. Public Works over here.
Council here watching the Watchmen has been reading up on the local laws and ordinances. What's the two-way situation thing in the police department? Is it the same as everywhere else?
I don't know if there's a specific law about that. I guess it's just if they have a sign.
It didn't specifically say police departments?
I don't think so. I gotta look it up.
Yeah, I don't. All right, no good on the I don't think so. So we got to get confirmation here.
I'm looking up the law here. See if there's anything prohibiting AP from exercising his Second Amendment right in the police department. It seems like that's one of the only offices on site here that's open. Let's see.
Look at this. And they're actually referencing a Arizona Supreme Court rule.
What is this? This is a courthouse?
It must be a court in there, yeah.
Yeah.
What's up with the police department?
Yeah, that's not on the list. It's just the same thing as anywhere else, whether or not they have a sign.
Okay. I didn't see any signs, did you?
No.
Well, let's see if anybody's home. Might be locked too. No, it's actually open. The front desk is not manned at this time. Let's see if anybody answers the phone. Yes, hi. Hi, can you hear me? Hi, how are you? I'm in your lobby and we're just looking for some information about the ability to, walk-ins and that kind of thing in some of the city offices. Or anybody around that can answer a question for us? Okay, great, thank you. Appreciate it. So, officer, we'll be right out.
How's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
My name's Adam.
I'm sorry, your name is?
My name's Adam, nice to meet you.
Adam. Are you a police officer?
I'm a dispatcher.
A dispatcher, okay,
dispatch.
cool.
Yeah.
So my name's Jason, Adam.
Nice to meet you.
Actually, my middle name's Adam.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yeah, I'll remember your name. So I understand that you're doing they're doing like a phased reopening of the public buildings. Is there any way you can tell me like when those hours are, when the public can come by and just
Yeah, so
walk in?
right now the city's open in person from 7 a.m. to noon. For in person, they're taking walk-ins.
7 to noon, okay.
Yeah, that's the city manager's working and doing all that kinds of stuff. But the police department right now is open 24/7, so if you ever come in and want to pick up our lobby phone, we're always here to talk. But the city, they just have some business hours, but they're always available by phone.
So 7 to noon is for all city
In person,
offices?
yeah.
Okay.
Except the police department.
Except the police department, which is
Yes,
open
sir.
24 hours a day?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. And then, what was the other question I had? We were reading very carefully the carrying of firearm statutes for
Yeah.
Arizona. So they list specific places that you're not allowed to carry, and the police department's not on that list. And so
Yeah.
the way I'm understanding the law is that there would have to be a sign outside saying do not come in with a firearm. And then if there's not, you're allowed to go in.
That is a very good question.
Yeah. So that's kind of unclear as to whether or not, that's why I was hoping,
Yeah.
I don't know if you can answer that or if maybe there's an officer that you can ask.
No, I can absolutely get that answer for you. So
Okay.
you said your name is Jason, right?
Yes.
Sweet. I will go put in a call and I'll have an officer come and talk to
All
you.
right, I
Okay?
appreciate you.
Sweet.
Thank you so much. Oh, here's one now. Here you go.
Hey, how are you
doing?
guys?
Good. How you doing?
How's it going?
Good.
My name's Jason.
Jason, nice to meet you.
Nice to
Ben,
meet you.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you,
And your
gentlemen.
name?
Brandon.
Brandon.
Yeah, I'm a detective here.
Okay, very cool.
Actually, I came out to use the restroom real quick. Our restroom is shut down right now.
God, you gotta use the public one, huh?
Yeah.
So just a quick question. I won't hold you up because I know when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Sure.
But as far as we're not from Arizona, so we're
Uh-huh.
reading up on Arizona revised statutes.
Okay.
And as far as carrying a firearm
Uh-huh.
into buildings, I understand there are certain places that are listed as prohibited buildings
Sure.
in the state of Arizona. And then other than that, some place would have to put a sign up saying no firearms allowed,
Right.
and that is enforceable by law.
Right.
So now what's the deal with the police department?
So it'd be very similar as far as I know and from what I understand.
Okay.
It just in secure areas where there would be like metal detectors or something, it wouldn't be viable. But then again, it would be posted at that point. Like
Right.
going into the courthouse where they have like the metal detectors or whatever, and they
Right.
have it posted there, kind of thing. Other than that, I don't.
But so
see-
like here in the lobby, there's no prohibition from,
Oh yeah, as long as it's not
Lawfully,
posted anywhere,
yeah.
yeah, you should be fine.
okay.
So I
Just
mean,
wanted to clarify that because that's a serious thing, yeah. Just
Yeah.
want to make sure, yeah.
that's the great thing about Arizona, right? I mean,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
let me
yeah.
be able to carry, so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
we-
I think it was, do you know, I always say I think Arizona was the first constitutional carry state, is that accurate?
You know, I'm not 100% sure on that.
I think it
That's
might
something I
be.
don't
Yeah.
know. Okay. Well, that's good to know if it is. eh?
Yeah, right, well, yeah, good, hey, constitutional carry, I wish it was in all 50 states, but you
Yeah.
know, we're working on it, right?
Absolutely.
Hopefully one day. But appreciate it, I'm sorry, what was your last name again?
It's Berkstead.
Berkstead.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, I appreciate you coming out and answering a couple of questions for
It's
me.
nice for you guys to come down.
Yeah, thank
Good to
you.
see you. What
All
you
right.
guys doing here?
Oh, well, you know what? I'm going to tell you what we're doing since you're being so cordial professional. What we do, we do First Amendment audits on YouTube.
Oh, cool.
So,
will be on YouTube?
Are you familiar with First Amendment auditing?
I've definitely heard of them, yeah.
Okay, you don't watch much of them.
No,
No, I can tell. Yeah.
I'm too busy with my casework to be watching YouTube videos.
There you go. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I'm sure they keep you busy, even here in Little Sedona, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Plenty going on. But no, and we try to have very cordial, constructive conversations with law enforcement.
Sure.
Because as I'm sure you're aware, there's a huge divide between law enforcement and the citizenry these days.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that I believe that, you know, like as anything in life, there's good and bad.
Sure.
So there are some police officers who aren't doing you any favors, aren't doing us any favors.
I agree.
And I think those guys are the ones that are exacerbating or fostering that divide.
Yeah.
And I always like to say to police officers when I have a chance to talk to them that you guys are in a very unique position to police that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we hope that you do, because I understand, you know, not a rhetorical question, but rhetorical statement, but I know it's difficult to, nobody wants to arrest another cop. Nobody wants to get involved in that or file complaints against another cop, but
sure.
The one thing that I always like to say to police officers is, and I'll ask you this question, what do you think a good police officer's worst enemy is in this world?
In this world?
Yep.
Probably their own emotions, I would assume.
A bad cop. No, seriously, think about it. Bad police officers and bad policing are getting the good guys hurt all over this country every day, and I think it's a travesty. It's a shame.
That makes sense. I know a lot of good police officers, and I do know, unfortunately, ones that aren't so good. So.
Well, get them in handcuffs and get rid of them because they're not doing you any. They're not doing you any favors either,
Right.
really. No, those guys, because people get angry with those guys, and then they come take it out on you.
Absolutely.
Just like there are some wonderful auditors out there doing a great job on YouTube, and then there's some guys that are doing a terrible thing, giving us all a bad name.
Right.
So, you know, it's the same kind of thing.
There's always the opposite of the good, right?
Exactly.
Like
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you guys are talking about. So.
Right. So we just ask you, and I know, you know, you don't want to, obviously you don't want to ruin anybody's career. These might be guys that you went to high school with. They might be friends for years. I don't know. But what we ask you to do is if you see somebody doing something that's violating their oath,
Yeah.
and they're not standing up to the standard of law that they're supposed to be at, we ask you to take them aside, talk to them, and get it to stop. And if that doesn't, you know, do whatever you have to do to prevent that, because that's doing a solid thing for the citizenry, and it's also helping out other good police officers that don't need the rogue ones out there causing trouble for you.
Yeah, and you know that's most policies too for police departments, where if we see an egregious act by another officer, that we at least talk to them and see if we can get that under control, notify supervisor, that kind of thing, but in a friendly manner, you know, if you will.
Well, you always have to start off friendly, and so, you know,
Right.
the easiest path is the way to go. Have you ever arrested another police officer?
Close, but no.
No. Did he straighten himself out?
You know,
Him or herself?
when it came to the investigation, as much as I could say is that he only had little to no involvement.
Okay.
So it was more of a family-related issue.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure that the whole investigation in itself corrected the issue.
Well, I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. That we're from Colorado. So Buckley
nice.
Air Force Base in Colorado, in Aurora, there was a police officer on duty in his squad car in full uniform with his gun and his badge, passed out right in front of the Air Force Base, intoxicated, drunk, with the car in drive and his foot on the brake pedal. It was news, you can look it up.
Sure.
So what's going to happen to a guy like that? You think, wow, they nailed him, this guy's career's over. A couple weeks later, he's right back out on the street, no suspension, no docking of his pay, no consequences, no nothing, right back out on the street. Now, I know if that was me, I would have spent at least a few hours in jail. Right?
Oh yeah.
So
that's pretty typical.
And that really blows people up because it's a double standard and it gets people upset. So, you know, for people to see that you're held to the same standard that we're held to does everybody a favor. And I just think that, you know, there's enough rogue behavior in this world, and I think everybody needs to get reined in and become very accountable, transparent, responsible. And if we all did that, probably half our problems would just vaporize overnight. But you know, it's not that simple.
Yeah, absolutely. Understand completely.
Yeah, so we just, all we ask of you, and then I'll let you hit the head there and get back to work. But all we ask of you is to honor your oath, police the bad guys. If you don't want to blow them up and ruin their lives, I get that, but just make sure that steps are taken to prevent people going out and causing a hard time for the citizens and a hard time for the good police officers out there. Because I know there are plenty of good police officers out there, and we need good policing in this country. We value good policing, and you know, we're not all about defund the police or any of that nonsense. Re-educate, continually educate, updated policies. This is a very fast-changing world, so all that stuff's very important. But, you know, I think keeping the bad guys in check would do you guys a lot of favors, and that's the conversation we try to have.
I agree 100%.
right,
Thank you for coming by and having a conversation.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you.
Can I get over here? Excuse
Oh,
me.
yes, sir.
The camera doesn't bite, don't worry.
Okay.
Ma'am, did you get help yet?
Not yet, I just need to pick up a police report.
All right,
Okay,
I'll let you get back to work, sir. Thank you very much. We
Thank you guys
appreciate
so
it.
much.
Good to meet you.
I appreciate you coming.
All right, guys. Wrapping up here. You saw how that went. No issue taking video in the police department, and the rest of these offices seem like they're closed due to the temporary hours, phased opening, whatever they're calling it. And we're glad to see that we had a conversation with the detective. No issues taking video. No issues exercising your Second Amendment right in the police department, and no issues in general. And that's what we like to see. We're glad that Sedona seems to be upholding everyone's rights. We haven't had any issues filming other videos here in Sedona either. It just seems like everyone's pretty laid back and not looking to give anyone a hard time, which is what we like to see. And Sedona's a beautiful town. So definitely a pass for Sedona so far. I think this is our second video that we've recorded here. And that's what we like to see. So if you appreciate what we do and you like this video, if you want to help us out, subscribe, hit the like button, turn on notifications, and comment. Let us know what you think of this video. And if you want to give some feedback to the Sedona Police Department here, I'll have the contact info for that in the description. And like I like to say, you know, got to remind you guys that you don't only have to call up a police department or a post office or whatever we go to when something bad happens or when they try to violate our rights. You can call them up and congratulate them on their upholding of our rights, and we encourage you to do that. So that's about it for this one, guys. Watching The Watchman with Amagansett Press here in Sedona, Arizona. See you on the next one, guys. Out.